Good afternoon on what is a mild, cloudy but bright day. It is Saturday the 28th of May and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue on unboxing. Now I've already pulled out Orbital Blues from this and was very impressed with its look. And we'll be looking forward to doing our review. So what else have I got in here? Let's have a look at this. This is Nibiru, a science fiction game of lost memories. Basically available through Mediavis Entertainment and published by can't see who it is. Or tiny writing. Araukana media. So you poor fool, washed up on the shores of a place such as this, and a vagabond no less. You should know by now only Nibiru knows how to keep a secret, and you, my friend, are about to die a second time. Nibiru, a colossal space station, home to millions, where stories of drama and struggle are written on a daily basis. Take on the role of vagabonds, people who wake up inside the station, devoid of memories, as they search far and wide for the lost remnants of their past, all while setting into motion a series of events that will change the face of the skyless world forever. The Nibiru role-playing game empowers you to write the unfolding stories of your protagonists and their past lives, rewarding you and their friends for creating expansive, intricate, character-driven storylines, themes of memory and identity, nature and artificiality. So that's an interesting cover. Sort of like doesn't look particularly science fiction-y, but we'll find out what it's like inside. So, but the artwork, that gets a bit more. That's fantastic, and it's also the artwork it looks really good in here. So we get on to the meat of the game. First steps, and describing essentially the skyless world and what it is. Essentially, it's a science fiction game inspired by 2001: Space Odyssey, The Martian, Go Under a Dream of Electric Sheep and A Scanner Darkly, the manga series Blame, Alpha Bestas, The Stars My Destination, Larry Niven's Ringworld, and the Expanse series. I've got a complete lexicon of terminology there as well. That's fairly extensive. So yeah, that's actually sort of like a page and almost 2 pages of glossary there. So. Before we get into the background, it sort of like doesn't say what exactly what's going on. There's quite a lot of text. It's fairly text heavy. To really trying to getting at what you are and what you're playing. So we've got quite a bit of history before we kind of get on to, I suppose, really sort of like really what the starting point for the game, which is really sort of setting up for the game master more than the players, because obviously presumably they won't necessarily know that history and what lies beyond, and this is sort of a bit, basically I'm describing it as almost, upon a glance through, there's some great artwork in it, but it is kind of impenetrable because it sort of doesn't, it feels like it's kind of difficult to put your finger on what it's quite about. So it takes quite a while, so 26 pages, so it's like you begin to sort of like look at who or what you play. But it is sort of like, you know, it's one of sort of like lack of curiosity to a certain extent. Information just contained in pockets and humans being displaced. So here we have, I think this is a map of the known region, as it were, and here we sort of have the different factions and places discussed. And again, obviously, this is essentially my first look through of this book. So, in some ways, I'm almost as clueless as the protagonists. But you know, obviously, it's something I want to dig into and discover what the world is like. You don't necessarily basically just through reading through it, and of course, then be interested to do it through play. Then we have a greater view, sort of like almost a cityscape stroke hellscape there, and that begins to bring it to life. And you've got descriptions of the particular districts within this city. And then throughout we've got these tail sparks, and they're not obviously you're not getting a tail spark, but essentially they're story hooks. So that's not obvious. When you work out what they are, they make sense, but upon first glance you're going, well, what are those? And then out further to the old city, and then we get into Taurus, which surrounds the skyless world, and further out this strange, almost sort of like worm-like area, and this actually folds out, so I'll see if I can. Okay, so we actually have an image of a Nibiru barge here. See if I can hold that just long enough for you to see it. I mean, that's fantastic artwork. I'm just going to be careful folding that back in, and we have these continuing maps, as I say, of almost worm-like world with the tunnels and the anatomy of the skyless world. So it's fantastic looking books in places. Otherwise, in other places it does look a bit threadbare. Okay, chapter 3. What's chapter 3 about? No title to it. A little odd. And here we sort of like begin. I think sort of starting with the Twilight themes in play. I think basically this is possibly for the Game Master's eyes. But, again, fantastic artwork. Beyond and then out again, almost in some ways impenetrable, essentially on that first glass, as I keep coming back to. Fantastic artwork, but sort of like set up with large blocks of text. Sort of see, and again, you know, really, it is sort of like mostly describing this world of Nibiru, this skyless world, and what it looks like, all primarily focusing inward, because obviously there's nothing to look up at out there. Describing some of the places that the characters would go. And then we get out onto the Umbraic frontier. Yeah, and back out into this sort of like this tangled worm-like regions, and the factions. So we're kind of repeating the similar format throughout. I mean, I do like the look of the book. I do like its artwork, but it is sort of, to say, difficult to quite determine what's going on. It's really on an interesting glance through. Yeah, and then we get into storytelling engines, and this is page 104. This is page 104 where it actually begins to address the rules. You know, describing, you know, you play as a vagabond, you're always a human, and creating an interesting creating characters. So I don't even know what a sample character looks like at this point. And then we get on to the actual mechanic itself, called the Memos system. Obviously playing upon the idea of memory with the Memos, and just so I said. Then we've got revelations. It's the special conditions of vagabonds goes beyond the realm of amnesia, and its consequences. The protagonists of your stories possess more than meets the eye, and a way of destiny. In a way, destiny plays tricks on them, using the power of their nostalgia, their memories, and their hidden past to influence their personal tales. Okay, so not quite sure how that comes into play, but we've got a series of revelations. Revelation of the giver, revelation of the seeker, that come into play as the protagonist's stories are told. And then the vagabonds, here we get on to 122, page 122, okay, so here is the point where you begin to really sort of like put your character together and explore what they do, and character creation. So this does take a long time to really kind of get going. Very late into the game. And it's the thing is, what you've got with all of these sort of things, any role-playing game is a fantastic, it's a realisation of sort of like, in many cases, somebody's idea. And I think it's fantastic that the author has brought this to fruition, and it'd be an interesting role-playing game to explore. And then we get out to the Dreadlands, but it obviously, it's a bit more esoteric for a lot of people. Not everyone's going to be interested in it, and in some ways the book doesn't help by sort of like really kind of obfuscating a lot of its kind of flavour and detail and sort of what the character does, because I don't even know what a character looks like in this. I haven't seen a finished character, and really it's sort of like it's really kind of exploring this worldless, the skyless world, and looking at the regions and the types of stories that can be told, and then without really explaining very much, as I say, upon first glance. Now, obviously, what that means is a deeper dive will tell me more, and a proper review will tell me more. But and this does highlight obviously the problem of doing an unboxing. You're looking at something and going, what is this? But as I say, the artwork is fantastic. The number of tail sparks or story hooks in there is quite amazing. The barely a page goes by without there being one on the page. And then we have these fantastic looking creatures, and then we get on to the Steelkin and essentially the robots. And these have, these will look familiar in terms of design and so on, but they have a certain roughness to them, a worked quality, which I do actually quite like. These are not, freshly built machines, and even we get up to actual AIs, which are coming in various forms. So we have a Skitterbot AI, and even a Mourner AI. I do like that kind of thing. Gives a sense of what the game is kind of like. Even down to sort of like AI children there. So yeah, that is Nibiru, and basically I think this is essentially, we've got a scenario at the back here called let's see what that is called. Sorry, I flipped across the page. By the lamplight, watershed, and so on, and that you basically get designed to get your campaign going. But as I think you've got everything you need in there to get started. But it's a game that really kind of warrants sort of like a quite a deep dive. And there's the character sheet, so kind of odd and strange. Going to be very different to what you might expect in your average role-playing game. And you have a journal sheet, as I said, of things that you remember. So I think there's a strong element of storytelling in here. This is this is a game of exploration and reflection as much as anything. So yeah, that's Nibiru, a game which I look forward to digging into for a proper review at some point. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing look. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in Nook, where you'll see me out here with a parcel and from which I'll extract a book or game, chat about the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit that subscribe button down below. Once again, thanks for watching. We'll be back again soon with another unboxing of the Nook. Bye for now.